Welcome to Money SOS with me, Sophia Kupse.
And Ian Brewer.
Thanks for joining in, Ian.
Hey, no problem.
He's my great collaborator. This is the show where you can bring your finances in for an MOT. And Ian, tell us what we can expect over this coming session.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about loan sharks today. It's our third session. And we're going to be speaking with Cath Wohlers from the Illegal Money Lending team. We're going to be unpacking things about loan sharks and who they are, where they operate, and everything else along with that.
Sounds like it's going to be a great show. And for those people who don't know who I am, I'm Sophia Kupse. I'm a health and wellbeing consultant, and I'm collaborating with Ian Brewer because I'm the psychology side of money and health and wellbeing. And I'm really excited to be working on Money SOS with you, Ian, simply because it's about our mental health and how it's impacted by money. And that's what I'm going to be talking about right now, because people ask me, is there a direct link between money and mental health? And I saw this firsthand in my family as a child growing up in the 60s and 70s. I saw how my parents, who were both immigrants and who worked to provide a home, food and clothes for us all, yet it was such a period of time when there was a lack of money, and how it impacted their mental health, leading to, sadly, depression for my mum. And back then, it wasn't easily diagnosed, or even the link between financial hardship was ever considered a trigger for depression or anxiety, which we know a lot about today. And we've got what's pushing everyone into that state of crisis is the cost of living crisis, with fuel, gas, electric, food. And just in case anyone thinks they're struggling alone out there, the statistics show now that 1 in 4 people are said to be behind their bills. That's 27% of people living in the UK. And 44% of young people living at home today said they haven't moved out because they wanted to help their families pay the household bills. So that's where we've got a lot of struggle. And as humans, we need certainty to thrive and grow mentally and physically. So when we have uncertainty around us, it means we lack control in areas of our life. And money is one of the biggest impacts on our mental health. To be quite honest, it's like a cancer in itself, because everyone knows someone who's been affected by money problems. And if we look at the charity Mind, they've got a fantastic website where they discuss in detail about how money makes us feel emotionally and mentally. That feeling of isolation, loneliness, guilt, starts to put us in a state of anxiety and panic when we have a lack of it, causing sleep problems, keeping you awake at night. And if you feel that you are suffering from any of the symptoms, and as I said, sleepless nights, anxiety, depression, feeling guilty, and having sort of addictive patterns where you can go out and start buying lots of things because it makes you feel that you haven't got lack, but really it's a cover-up, and it can make you feel ashamed and afraid, so and stressed as well. And when we feel in a state of stress, we get very tired and we're worn down to the point of exhaustion. So there is help at hand. Go, as I said, to the Mind website. There are food banks there that are able to provide essential food if you need it. And again, there are other helpful places, Ian, that you suggested before.
Yes, absolutely. And we work very closely with Mind in Bradford, a great organisation. Do pop yourself on their website. But also we work with Bradford Citizens Advice Bureau, Step Change, Christians Against Poverty. These are other organisations where you can get help. So anything that comes up from today, don't bury your head in the sand. Do take some action. Do get hold of some of these organisations if you need to.
Absolutely, and I think there's a definite link. Everyone knows it, and we're all living in a time of crisis, especially people, because of the mortgage increase that you wouldn't expect to. Professionals are struggling, Ian, aren't they?
Absolutely, and this is one of the reasons why we're having this conversation about loan sharks, because it's not just affecting people that are on low incomes or benefits. This is affecting other people. Cath's going to be able to tell us that, and that's going to be quite an eye-opener.
Yeah, we've got Cath coming on board shortly, but you've picked, let's have a piece of music, and you've picked a particular track, which is, tell us about it, Ian.
Yeah, so this is Isimo, the great band. They're a Bradford-based band, and they wrote a song around loan sharks. They came in contact with somebody who had issues with a loan shark, had borrowed from a loan shark, had been chased by this loan shark, and the trauma of this person. They put this into words, and they created a song called Money, and it's about that. They played at some of our events, some of our projects. They're a great bunch of people. Do listen to their other stuff. They're absolutely amazing. But yes, let's play Isimo and Money.
And that was Isimo and Money. What a fabulous, fabulous track that was, Ian. Very beat-boppy, wasn't it, as such on there. Now we've got a great guest coming on board to tell us. Hello, Cath, can you hear?
Certainly can.
I thought you could. Hello, Cath. Welcome to the programme. And can you tell us who you are and then what is a loan shark?
Sure. So my name's Cath Wohlers. I'm one of the operations managers with the England illegal money lending team, which I always think makes it sound like we lend money illegally, but we don't. The sort of social media handle we use, I think, better explains what we do, which is stop loan sharks. So a loan shark is someone who lends money without permission from the government to do so. So if you want to set up a business lending money, you need permission from the Financial Conduct Authority, and they'll make sure you're not an undisclosed bankrupt or you haven't got fraud convictions and all those sorts of things. Once you've got that permission, it's very strict on how you can lend the money. You've got to check affordability. There's lots of regulations about paperwork you've got to give and how you have to advertise. But loan sharks don't obey any of those rules because they operate below the radar. But it's actually a criminal offence to lend money without that authorisation.
Brilliant. So, Cath, great to have you on the show because we've been working together for years now at the Bradford District Credit Union and run a number of the projects that you've funded in the past. So thank you very much for that. So I remember having a chat with you just recently and you were saying it's not just people on our estates that are on low wages or benefits. It's actually affecting people in work these days. Can you tell us how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. Literally anyone could be the victim of a loan shark. Quite often when people take out the loan, they genuinely believe they're borrowing from a mate. So
Yep.
it's, Brian down the pub or, Jessie from the school gates
Yes.
or, someone even maybe that you work with.
Yeah.
And because of that, people will take loans from them in all sorts of different situations. So over half the people we supported last year were actually in employment and the vast majority of those were full-time employees, but
Wow.
they still felt the need that they had to borrow from what they believed to be a friend maybe, and then maybe it turned out that they weren't a friend, they were actually a loan shark.
Right, absolutely. So we work with 34 companies and we have about 4,000 staff saving with us here at the credit union. We have heard some horror stories that have been affecting them. Now, when it comes to credit unions, you do recommend credit unions. Why do you recommend credit unions?
I love credit unions. I should disclose I'm on the board of directors of one of them, so I have a vested interest. But credit unions are fabulous because credit unions will treat people as people. It's not computer says no. It's not fill in this online form and we'll say, no, absolutely not. You can never have a loan go away. They try and work with people.
Yeah,
one of the reasons that we recommend them as well is that credit unions will offer those smaller loans, the kind of £500 loan, which people tend to go to loan sharks for, which maybe the banks don't want to offer because they don't make enough money off it, quite frankly. So that's one of the reasons as well. There's the fact they treat people like people. They will help you to save as well as to borrow, and we're all about saving and getting financial resilience, but also they will do those kind of lower amount loans, which help people, with the kind of burst hire, school uniform, Christmas issues that we see people going to illegal lenders for.
Yes, and we just had some funding from our West Yorkshire Mayor Tracy Brabin to run a £200 loan scheme for people that with their credit scores so low that even a credit union normally couldn't be able to do that. And due to her funding, we've been able to help people through that. So we've been able to see how that works in practice. Now, there was an arrest in Bradford recently. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
It's still under investigation, so top secret at the moment, I'm afraid. Yeah. It's one of those things, unfortunately, until people are in court, it stays out of the public domain, which I guess it has to, but it's frustrating that you can't talk about it sometimes.
Yes, I know it was in the Bradford Telegraph and Argus, the fact that an arrest had been made. But when an arrest is made, what is the process for being tipped off? How can the public help you find those loan sharks?
So we get calls to our hotline. We have a 24-hour hotline, which is open every single day of the year. That's 0300 555 2222. That is manned by one of the team. We don't use call centres or anything else. It's one of us that will pick up the phone. We've also got live chat on our website. That's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And the website is stoploansharks.co.uk. And we get information from all sorts of places. Sometimes it's victims themselves, sometimes it's a concerned friend or family member, and sometimes it's third-party organisations like credit unions or debt advice or housing officers or even the police as well.
Brilliant. Okay. And just rounding this session off then, so what is the actual support that you can give if somebody is using a loan shark, they are trapped, they're not sure what to do about it, they've been sworn to secrecy, what do you recommend that they could do?
The best thing in the world is just have a conversation with us. So we're not just about locking up the bad guys. We're also here to support people who are affected by this crime. So you can talk to us in confidence. You can talk to us anonymously. But we'll just talk you through your options. And we don't put pressure on anyone to go on the record or give us a statement or anything like that. It's just about explaining what the options are to you and saying what would happen next in each of those cases. And then sometimes people go away, think about it, decide it's not for them, and that's fine. Sometimes they go away and think about it and say, yes, come back and bite our hands off. But we'll look at people as as people, again, a bit like credit unions do. So we'll look at supporting them emotionally. We'll look at what their financial situation is. Is their rental property or their house being affected because they're paying the loan shark maybe and not paying the rent or the mortgage. And we'll try and just help them get back on track, get back away from the loan shark. But it's all about support. It's not about hammering people to get information out of them.
Cath, I just love working with you and your organisation, and we look forward to future projects together. I really thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. We love working with you too.
Cheers.
Thanks, Cath. That's wonderful. I think, Ian, it's amazing what Cath said there about loan sharks. Do you know, it shocks me. I don't know why, but I always think that loan sharks was something around the 80s and 90s, and they don't exist now and we don't have them in. But to be quite honest, it sounds like they're still out there and thriving on the people who are struggling the most.
Absolutely. We've always found this with people that are low-waged and on benefits, because they can be tempted away with the opportunity for getting a loan without having to go through all the process, or their credit score may be not what it should be and that sort of thing. But now we're seeing it, as I say, we work with 4,000 staff at 34 companies, and we hear stories about these people. Some people have been using loan sharks in the past, so it can absolutely affect anybody.
And then this is where the mental health starts to be impacting, the emotional and wellness, because it's like Cath saying, who do you pay? I mean, they stop paying the mortgage or the rent and they start paying the loan sharks because of the pressure.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, this is what's causing people sleepless nights and health problems. If we don't sleep right, we get more stressed. It starts to affect our physical well-being, our skin. We don't eat well. And then we start reaching out for things like addictive patterns start to appear, and we buy things like alcohol instead of food because we just want something that's a quick fix and just takes us out of that feeling of gives us a release, really. But so it's really important about the loan sharks here that people get the right help. What website or which is the contact point for Cath, Ian, where she said we can get help, and if anyone's struggling, they don't have to go with the you can go to Mind, but she specifically said that we help.
Absolutely. And if people put in loan sharks or the illegal money lending team into Google, you'll be able to get it from there.
Oh, right. Oh, that's fantastic. That's not bad at all.
And just a reminder of those contact details for the Stop Loan Shark team that Cath was talking about. The website is stoploansharks.co.uk. And if you're going to call them, it's 0300 555 2222. I'll repeat that, 0300 555 2222. Anytime, day or night. They have a chat on there. You can report it anonymously as well, so feel free to go on that website. And just remember the other support around there. Sophia's also mentioned some of the places to go for mental health, if you've been affected by that today. But remember, practically, if you're in difficulty with your finances, Bradford Citizens Advice Bureau, Bradford CAB, Step Change, Christians Against Poverty, and you can also go on to our website, the BDCU.co.uk, to be able to get some information on our savings and loans.
So we've covered really on the session here some really important valid tips, such as we started this session with how your mental health and well-being is affected.
Agreed.
When we are very stressed. And do you see that as well, Ian, with
all the time. I do training in the community as well, as you know. All the community projects and money and mental health are absolutely linked together. That's why we're so grateful for our partners at Bradford Mind. And if people are wanting to get into that savings habit, the credit union that I work for, put in Bradford District Credit Union or BDCU.co.uk, moneysos.co.uk. You can find out how to save with us and get those smaller loans that Cath was talking about that your banks just wouldn't be able to do that for. And even if your credit score is low, reach out to us. Let's see what we can do to help you.
And probably we'll be covering maybe a session on credit scores and things.
We certainly will be. That's coming up.
Oh, have I
future one.
Is it? Yeah, you see how, because I think that's that's going to be an interesting topic as well, that you'll cover about, what is a low credit score, and if the Bradford District Credit Union look at it differently too.
We certainly do.
Oh.
And session 4, next time that we meet up, we're going to be talking about understanding gambling-related harm. And we're going to have a guest speaker on to talk to us about that.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I won't probe you for that anymore as such. And we've got another song coming up. But why did you pick today to close our session the Coldplay and Clocks? Any particular reason?
Talking about loan sharks, it can be quite a dark subject for people, especially if they've been stuck. And just to lift our spirits, it's a great intro. It's got that great vibe to it. I'm a big Coldplay fan anyway. So here we go. Yeah, let's kick you off
we're
with
going
that.
to play that in a couple of minutes. And I was just going back to loan sharks. I don't know, how did they get the name? Because it reminds me of something from Jaws.
Well, it came out of the fact it is. Sharks are out there, they're in the water, you can't see them until you've been bitten by them. And the strap line that they have is, if you go to a loan shark, it will cost you an arm and a leg. And that's where the whole idea of sharks came out of. And then the publicity has come from that. But they are, there's blood in the water, as Ismo talks about in their song. Blood in the water, it brings out the people, these people too, and they, it's difficult to spot them because they could be anybody.
Oh, absolutely, Ian. So it's been a great session today. As I said, we've covered up, we've recapped, we've done the mental health, and if anyone is struggling mentally with the pressure of money problems and loan sharks and borrowing, and it's just too much, do reach out to charities like Mind, who have fabulous contact, as well as the Samaritans, who are always available. Yes. And you can talk to the Samaritans for free. Just call 116 123. Reach out to trusted family or friend members, support workers or health professionals like your GP. There's nothing to be ashamed about. And as I said, then as soon as you get that help and turn that corner, it all changes. So we're playing out today's session with the fabulous Coldplay and Clocks. And until next time, take care from the team on Money SOS.
Absolutely. Thanks.